We have got some extreme late night chaos in Portland, Oregon. We've got 5 sideshows that Portland police were basically not able to address. What's that look like? Here we go. This is Nate Nicholson. He's a viewer of this podcast, News for Reasonable People. Give him a subscribe. He's got 70 subscribers. He's in Portland. Let's get him up to 100. I need 30 of you guys to hit the subscribe button. Now, I know you've seen sideshows, and I know you know what they look like. But the difference here is this is Lloyd Center. This is one of those reasons where you've got anarchy overriding what normal everyday civilians feel is safe. And when you've got this happening on a Sunday night in 4 spots throughout Portland, and Portland police don't have the resources, we're going to talk about that. Portland just flat out doesn't have the resources to cover when you got a few hundred people at one of these events and they're spread out, you don't have enough cops. Period. Something goes wildly sideways at one of these sideshows, which thankfully it didn't. All bets are off. All bets are off. Now let's break this down a little bit. This is a major intersection. This is a major mall. I've shopped at this mall with my grandma. Lloyd Center. You got people just running around. Doing cars, people filming. Laser over here. Yeah, laser pointer right there. Look at these people back up. Just absolute insanity. Coming soon to a community near you, Portland, Oregon. Oh. You're going to smell that, like the dude who sent this, and thank you, by the way. Dude who sent this said he could smell it. I think I remember saying on the email he sent me that he could smell this coming from quite a ways away. Now, so that's an up-close look at, what a sideshow looks like. Just absolute anarchy. There's just no control. Just a bunch of people racing their cars around in circles. And I know it's a huge thing in like Los Angeles and other communities. Portland, you're seeing more and more of that, and it's been prevalent for a while. Let's see what local news had to say. Let's see what they had to say.
Of the Lloyd Center were on edge last night after a street takeover event went late into the night with multiple cars blocking traffic in front of the mall along Multnomah Street. These same neighbors are wondering if police did enough to stop the chaos.
Fox Spencer Schott joins us now live from where all of those cars gathered. Spencer, how does it look now?
Spencer!
Well, Pete, Nora, the front entrance of the Lloyd Center's parking lot is all messed up today. Take a look at this. The sidewalks and crosswalks.
That's what we were just looking at.
Are basically unnoticeable because of all the skid marks from cars doing donuts and people lighting off fireworks here last night.
Lighting off fireworks. Perfect. Oh, there we go. Oh, some fireworks.
Wasn't near it.
4th of July. There you go. Oh, yeah.
Neighbors say this intersection was taken over just before midnight on Sunday, leaving this mess to be cleaned up Monday.
When I see
cleaned up,
how intense it is, it tells me there were quite a few cars.
There were.
Our whole neighborhood.
Yeah, they are.
They are sick of the street takeovers. And it wasn't just the Lloyd Center that was targeted on Sunday. A PPB spokesperson says they also received calls about takeovers up on Marine Drive, Portland Road, Columbia Boulevard, and MLK.
It's 5. Sorry, 5.
Police say there were other priority calls that they were responding to Sunday night and only had 2 units available to monitor the takeover events.
All right, let's talk about that for a second. You don't have enough cops, period. They're out, hey, I just got assaulted. They're on those kind of calls. They're not worried about the knuckleheads doing shenanigans, doing donuts in the street. You know what? I understand. If you love your car, you've just got it all hopped up. You got some supercharger. You got some, turbo whatever in there. And you're just really excited about that. I don't know. I'm kind of from the old school where you take it to a track and then just run it in circles, just go round and round. This thing where you do it on public streets, it's great until somebody gets killed, right? I mean, it's just God bless America, cars, whatever. You know, nothing says we love the environment than burning a bunch of rubber and just exhaust going into the into the stratosphere. Where are all the environmentalists here? Where are all the environments? Where is the outrage? Where's the police? You don't have enough of them. Like they said very nonchalantly, their response is, well, we don't have enough, and we were responding to calls that, people weren't dying at. So if somebody dies, gets maimed, gets run over, we'll come and see you. But otherwise, we only got so many resources. This is the state of Portland, Oregon.
The person added it wouldn't be safe for 2 units to try to shut down an event of this size.
Another massive, massive issue. You only got a couple of cops to go out there, a couple of cop cars, 4 cops, whatever. You're gonna handle 200 people, 100 people. You're gonna handle 50 people. No, you're not. You're just overwhelmed. So Portland, this is what you wanted, and this is what you get. This is literally what you get. Anarchy like this. If you're okay with that, just keep voting blue because it's working out just swell.
While no injuries or arrests were reported on Sunday, other street racing events have been deadly.
The fact that these people just have no
Shocker.
care about our culture here. They have no care about the neighbors, the elderly that are nearby, or like you say, the crosswalks. It's just very upsetting.
And neighbors are asking police to do more.
There it is.
Responding to street takeover.
Sorry. Neighbors concerned over street takeover event. I have great concern. I have concern that I might be run over. Thump, thump. Yeah, I'd be concerned too. Now, you should be concerned with the overall condition of your city and choices that you've made electing officials that are allowing this kind of nonsense, that thought it was a great idea to defund the police, that thought it was a great idea to embrace Antifa, that think it's a great idea to embrace just basic lawlessness. If you think that's great, then, you're in the right city. You're 2 thumbs up. Well done.
One would hope that the police would come with their spike strips that they use when they pursue a dangerous car.
All right. You would hope that the police would come with spike strips. You'd have to shut the event down. You got to run out there and you got a car going around 100 miles an hour with some lunatic behind the wheel. Just, it's the greatest thing ever. Right? So these people are so out of touch, and guaranteed she voted Democrat. Guaranteed she voted Democrat because she's in Portland, right? I mean, it's, so spike strips. Yeah, and we're not doing that. Cops aren't doing that. Number one, there's not enough of them. Can't take on this crowd. Number two, spike strips aren't used at takeovers like this. They got to shut it down with massive amounts of cops, which they don't have. So it's, it's just this disconnect from reality of, yeah, that's not happening. It's just simply not happening. That in so many different ways, that's not happening.
And puncture their tires and then confiscate the vehicles.
I would like to see
Confiscate the vehicles with what crew of cops? You don't have any because nobody wants to be a cop in Portland. And the ones that did and were good cops are now, you've tied their hands with all kinds of just absolute ridiculousness, no longer allowing them to do their job. The ones that could retire have retired. Your good cops have retired, and they are retiring. I think 1/3 of all the cops here in Seattle, we've got the same situation. We don't have enough cops. 1/3 of the cops in Seattle are eligible for retirement. So you got to just try and hold on to the numbers that you have.
harsher punishment. And then when people are held accountable, actually hold them accountable. I think to jail time. Honestly, that's what I would go for.
But you got to remember, this is Portland. You bring somebody in for street racing. Let's say, did you murder, rape, maim, or otherwise impact another human being with physical violence? No, you didn't? Oh, okay. Well, you get out of here, Junior. Do better next time. This is Portland. This is big blue liberal city. You're not incarcerating people for even the most hideous of crimes. You're just not. We're seeing this time and time and time and time again. So this isn't a new story. It's just the level to which it's happening and just the out in the open. Well, we're just going to take over this intersection. A few hundred of us are going to go over here because we know the police can't do anything about it. Anarchy. So Portland, you wanted anarchy? You wanted to keep Portland weird? You got it.
PPB Chief of Police Bob Day says he is aware of last night's street takeovers, and he says in a statement, due to limited resources and other calls for service, our officers were unable to respond appropriately. We recognize the serious risk these events pose to the public safety, and this is an ongoing issue in our area, and we are actively working on long-term strategies to prevent future incidents.
Seriously, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you're one of these folks that's in Portland, you're on this Portland City Council, you are basically helpless. You bring in a bunch of laws outlawing street racing, who are you going to have enforce them? There's nobody. You're not enforcing anything. You're not enforcing jack. And the criminals know it. These kids driving around in their little cars. Oh, it's great. We're drifting. Oh, boop, boop. Yeah, just took out a pedestrian who was filming it on their iPhone. I'm glad our guy on this video here, Nate, I'm glad you were standing back a ways from this bad boy because, man, you get up too close to that, literally that boop, boop, that's going to be your body, going over the trunk of whatever said vehicle. So let's read the article. Let's see what else the article has to say. Drivers shut down a Portland street overnight in a street takeover event outside the Lloyd Center, and several witnesses captured the takeover on video. Witnesses say the takeover happened just after midnight on Multnomah Street in Northeast Portland. In the video, people could be seen hanging out of car windows as drivers were speeding and doing donuts with bystanders just feet away, and then lighting off fireworks. I love fireworks. I think they're the best thing ever. I mean, I'm surprised I've still got 10 fingers. We used to go to the Indian Reservation and, buy some quarter sticks of dynamite and just blow things up. Great. I mean, God bless America, right? Happy 4th of July. Happy keeping all your fingers. But there's a time and a place in the middle of the night during a illegal street racing deal. I get the idea that you want to, let off some fireworks because why not? There's nobody there to stop you. But let's just say, things could wildly go sideways. And oftentimes they do at these takeovers. You see where people get run over and killed. Just boop, boop, just dead. Witnesses say the takeover happened just after midnight. In the video, witnesses say they called the situation into Portland police and were told by dispatch that officers were aware of the situation and monitoring it. And by monitoring it, that means if a call came in that something really bad actually happened, they would go see what the fuss is all about. Because otherwise, they don't have enough folks to address it. Period. I don't understand how people don't get that. I think people just don't want to look at the news. They don't want to understand that they voted in the situation. They created the situation where you don't have enough cops to address a basic safety issue, like people doing wild donuts out in front of a major mall in a North American city, and the cops are powerless to do anything about it. They don't even send them out. We're busy on other calls where people actually need our help. The guys that are driving, they seem to be doing a good job of doing those donuts multiple times in a row. So we're just going to let them do their thing. No, they don't have the ability to do anything else. Hands are tied. Not even tied. They're just not able to do anything. Fox 12 reached out to Portland police for more information, and we're waiting to hear back. Well, exactly what would you hear back? What would you hear back? All right, let's move on to another segment. So here's Lloyd Center, Northeast Portland. Go across the river, go across Willamette. Your parks where we had the wild, violent protest. It's kind of somewhere right in here if you're following my yellow deal. Here is Portland State University. Now, I have a family member that is there, a young lady. And this is one of those stories about downtown Portland that you're like, oh, that's not good. Woman attacked with hatchet near Portland State University. This is just kind of more going to, you got a bunch of lunatics running around And you know what? This is what Portland wanted. This is what misguided compassion ends up with. You got a dude who's probably homeless. He's probably whacked out of his mind on drugs or just whacked out of his mind. He is just running around with a hatchet, just whacking people.
We wait for the reading and advisement. Go all registered to the record this morning and request to enter a not guilty plea as to each count.
Appearing in front of the judge in a blue jumpsuit, Ďickens faces felony charges of assault and unlawful use of a deadly weapon, as well as a misdemeanor menacing charge. Around 11 a.m. Monday morning, PPB, PSU police, and TriMet security responded to calls of a woman being attacked by a man with a hatchet. The TriMet security guard tackled Ďickens and held him until police could arrest him, and students at PSU say it was a very scary scene that left them on edge.
No kidding.
It's actually scary. You know, like me and my friend, like when we stepped out the elevator, we were like, what? Like, that's crazy. And then like when we seen it, we're like, that's pretty bad. It's a pretty serious thing because it reminds me, like everyone else, that like anything can happen to anyone. Like
anything could happen to anyone. But in Portland, your probability of being assaulted by a homeless individual whacked out of his mind on drugs with a hatchet, with a machete, with a knife, with a sword are exponentially higher than in a community run by Republicans, period, full stop, or run by Democrats like the city I live in here, Bellevue, who are moderate, who understand that law and order stands for what separates you from the whacked out nutjob homeless guy with the hatchet. So law and order, incredibly important. Portland has gone down that road. Seattle's gone down that road as well. Let's just see how this goes without the police. And, it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. Even the far lefties know it doesn't go well, but they don't care because they're like Black Lives Matter, which, wants to get rid of judges, wants to get rid of police, wants to get rid of, the criminal system, wants to get rid of, court system. They want to get rid of all that. That's, Kamala Harris was on board with that. AOC is on board with that. So when you've got these cities where they've embraced that, now you've got these kids who are like, it's kind of dangerous here. But what they need to know is that this is not normal. This is the end result of terrible, terrible years of policy. You've allowed this to happen. You've allowed this to happen. This is what you get.
you're not invulnerable. Like you're not immune to something happening to you.
Your city should have an implied public safety, idea that you can walk around on a Monday at 11 o'clock or whatever it was, and you're not going to get whacked by a homeless dude with a hatchet. There should be some, idea that is not normal, that is not normal at all. But Portland and Seattle live with such blinders on. A person got assaulted with a hatchet. Things happen. All of us are vulnerable. That's the mentality. Instead of, where in the F are our government officials? Where are the cops to come and help us? Where is that? Well, we don't have enough. We're monitoring the scenario. It's like, good luck out there, citizens. And you know what? It's like the movie Zombieland. Don't forget your cardio, because you're going to need it when the whacked out homeless dude is chasing you with a hatchet.
Now, Ďickens does have a long criminal history, including trespassing, breaking and entering, and criminal mischief, but this is his first time facing an assault charge. He'll be back in court tomorrow morning for his bail hearing. Reporting live in downtown Portland, Spencer Schott, Fox 12, Oregon.
That woman is lucky she just wasn't flat killed, right? Just lucky that wasn't a thing. Brutal. Well, such is the state of things in Portland, Oregon. And then we wonder, why aren't more businesses opening up businesses in downtown Portland? I don't understand some of the highest vacancy rates in all of the United States being in Portland. Or I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, they've got great strip clubs, got some epic breweries. They've got epic food. They've got epic, the physical beauty of Portland is amazing, just like Seattle. But your leadership in these big West Coast cities specifically is so bad. It's just so bad. Oh, yeah, there's a nut job running around with a machete. Not a machete, I'm sorry. A hatchet. A nut job, and then you got a bunch of people driving their cars like maniacs. Pretty normal. It's Sunday. That is Sunday night, and that is Monday. Literally, these are back-to-back events in a major North American city because things have just gone wildly off track, and that's where you end up with this kind of leadership. Just, anything goes. It's great. I mean, we're so inclusive. We're just so happy to be, part of America that, we're just going to let things go. And this is what you get. This is what you end up with. This kind of stuff. So if you're looking to get maimed by a homeless dude, Portland, Oregon, that's your go-to. Wild stuff, right? Yeah. Crazy. All right. That's what we got going on in Portland. Thanks again for being here. I'd love to have you subscribe, hit the notification bell, because believe it or not, there are going to be more stories like this coming down the road. I don't want you to miss out. We'll catch up in the next one. Bye for now.